Humble, it's all of you. How humbly. It wasn't until after he passed, and I'd spent a lot of time with him. He'd show me pictures from Korea of the big guns that he was using, and then I'd bring back the pictures from Iraq or Afghanistan of the HIMARS that our Wyoming National Guard were using, and we do the comparisons. But it wasn't until after he passed and I read his discharge papers that I knew he'd been awarded the Purple Heart for being shot in the arm in Korea. I knew he had a scar about the Purple Heart. And then last year, when we laid the wreaths, one was laid for Wyoming Marine Riley McCullum, 20 yards, because it was going to be a big, big crowd. Spitting snow and rain, 1,100 people, went for 3 hours, nobody left. That's the way we do it in Wyoming. Also last year, they laid the wreath at another great American World War II, injured, left for dead on the battlefield, recovered, ran for office. His name was Bob Dole. Actually ran for president of the United States. At this dinner on Friday night in Casper, one of the hotels, Barry, I think it's where your old Volkswagen broke down outside, now it's called the Ramkota, that you and I were there years and years ago. Well, it was that hotel they had a dinner one time for Bob Dole when he was running for president. Well, this Friday night we had more people in that banquet hall to celebrate our veterans today than we did that day for Bob Dole. And then this year they're going to raise, for the first time, putting down wreaths, talking about the old and the young. A 20-year-old from Buffalo, Seth Rasmussen. Seth was killed in a training accident in an Osprey helicopter. Marine, married his high school sweetheart from Buffalo, and had a young son. And this was a training accident in California. The plane went down, all 6 were killed. So I'm telling you about the young and the old. And just last week in Thermopolis, we laid to rest Bobby's uncle John Dodge, again, World War II in Korea. But it's always Wyoming people serving. Always Wyoming people doing what they need to do. And to me, they're all heroes, as you are all heroes, because you put your life on the line to protect and defend others. I mean, that's what a hero is to me. It's somebody that puts themselves in harm's way for the benefit of somebody else. So at that dinner, and I'm going to do it again today, and I think, Don, you already have one of these, give out a Wyoming military challenge coin. It's a sign of honor and recognition and respect for your service. It has the Wyoming cowboy on it, the bucking bronco, steamboat. It says United States Senate, it says Wyoming on it. And the first thing I saw, the first time I heard about these was General David Petraeus when I was in Iraq during the surge in '07. I was there visiting Wyoming troops for Thanksgiving, having Thanksgiving dinner with them. And he gave me one of his. He says, you cup it in your hand, and then you turn it over to the person, when you shake their hand, and you say, thank you for your service. And I'm going to do that with each of you today. People say, well, freedom's never, isn't free. Ronald Reagan said things better than most when he said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. That it's not something that you inherit, it's not passed in the bloodstream. It's something that has to be fought for, protected, defended, and then passed on for the next generation to do the same. And that's what we do here in Wyoming better than anyone in the Legion, Boys State, all the things that you do to continue this long tradition of service. And then finally, Bobby was raised with that sense, as was I. My dad was in World War II, the Battle of the Bulge. Never talked much about it, although in his later years he had a hat that said, I fought in the Battle of the Bulge. After he passed, and I got his discharge papers, so 5 Bronze Stars, and I saw that he signed up 3 days after Pearl Harbor, went, and then didn't come home until it was over. From the time I was a little kid, he'd always say, John, you should thank God every day you live in America. And I do. And that's what I try to do in the United States Senate. Do that, giving thanks to God for this great country, because we're so blessed to live here. It's lessons I learned from my dad and my wife Bobby learned from his. I'm just so very grateful for what you have all done to keep us safe and keep us free. Don, thanks for allowing me to take a couple minutes to talk, and God bless you, and God bless Wyoming, and God bless these United States of America. Thank you.